Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Aquarius. If Aquarius is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Okay, and let's see, what do these tea leaves have to say today? Oh my goodness. There's a lot. There's a lot of leaves in there. Okay, so we have the Prince of Wands for our reading today. Oh goodness, and this is a very fiery energy. Oh my goodness, things are really moving. So much creativity and passion. A lot of images here today. Oh, we have a big dragon up here. You can see the face and the wings and the tail, and it's breathing some fire. It looks like maybe another dragon over here. My goodness. All right. Well, I guess we'll start with the dragons since they seem very prominent. And, you know, I think this is definitely residual energy from the things that we've been talking about in our past readings. You know, difficulties within family dynamics, you know, people not necessarily respecting your choices or boundaries, whatever it is. Things have not been easy in the last year, and they, I think that they reached their peak, you know, but there's still a lot of emotional stuff happening. Now, I don't think that we're in necessarily, let me see, here we go. I'm going to turn this thing off. Of course it came on. I forgot to switch it off. There we go. Now, I don't think that we're in a place of like active anger or rage or arguing or any of this stuff, but I do think that there is this strong impulse to protect your peace. Very protective of getting through this thing, right? Kind of putting it to bed, throwing it out the window, whatever you are doing, right? Really disengaging yourself from whatever that dynamic was, okay, and going about your way. And as you are kind of getting ready to go out the door, there is that dragon really kind of on your shoulder, ready to, you know, just get rid of whatever is standing in your way, whoever is trying to stand in your way. And you are, you know, you are not one to be messed with, at least right now, right? You are, now I don't think that you're like needlessly reactive or anything like this, but I think that you are ready to go. And nothing is going to kind of get in your way while you are on the way out, okay? And I like to see that. I like to see that energy. There's no back and forth here. This is done. Now, I want to switch it this way. And we have this really interesting, this one is so beautiful to me. We have, it almost looks like a person wearing a robe. It almost kind of resembles a moose head. Okay, so wearing maybe a mask of some kind, and it has something in its hand, like maybe a bundle of herbs or some kind of natural offering is what comes to mind. And then here we see kind of, and this reminds me of an earthen mound, okay? And this is, these are sacred mounds that earth workers create or did create. There are ancient earthwork and earthworks, I should say. I'm mostly familiar with North American mound builders, but they are all over the world and they continue to be found constantly. But there are also earthworkers that still are in practice. Okay, and so I see within this mound, we have a face here. Okay, you can see the eyes and the nose. And let me just say, this reminds me of, and I think, was it Fraggle Rock where they had that like trash pile that was like a person? Or, it was a trash pile, but it had like a face and stuff. For a second, that's what I was like, oh, that reminds me of that. I believe it was Fraggle Rock, but I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up when I'm done. But anyways, that's not what this is. This is like a sacred mound, but that came to mind for a second. So we have a most sacred mound, okay, an offering being made. And above the mound, we have kind of a little nest, and we have a rooster, okay? Really interesting symbolism here, okay? We also have, it looks like a person who is kind of floating above the head of the person who is leaving the offering. So I look at this looks like a high priest or priestess, right? Right here, leaving an offering at this sacred mound. The rooster, vitality, okay, vigor, life, oh my gosh, life and fire and beauty, and almost a sense of maybe even on the edge of cockiness, right? But it is well earned, okay? There is a power in you, and there just is a sense of like, this is not going to be dimmed. Not anymore. Nobody is going to stand in my way. I am done bending over backwards for people who do not appreciate my efforts. I will not be taken advantage of. I will not be, messed over. None of that. I'm going my own way. I am my own guiding light. That is fully what I feel here. Okay. There's just such an emergence of, I'm not going to take this anymore. I'm focused on me. I'm focused on my work, my path. Okay. And, that is a glorious, glorious thing. Beautiful. Now with this, I feel you are devoted to yourself. You are your own devotee, right? There's no better devotee than yourself either. And that's one of the secrets of life, I think. When, we talk a lot about self-love, about finding a way to be, to take care of ourselves first, prioritize, all these things. And this is all part of that. But to truly be devoted to yourself as you would be to the divine, because you are a manifestation of the divine. And I'm not talking about in some troubled, narcissistic, cutthroat kind of way. That's not what I mean. I mean showing up for yourself. Taking the time to really be there for yourself. Becoming connected to yourself. Listening to yourself as you would a child, your own child. If your child, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, whatever, they're coming into their own as a being, and they come to you and they ask you for help. Mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, I don't understand this. I need your help. You show up for them, right? I need a hug. You hug them. I need your advice. I need your support. You would be there for them. And so you must with yourself. And you are. And this is so much the energy. And it's not easy. It's not easy. It feels selfish. We live in a world that loves to tell us that we're selfish, we're greedy, we're self-obsessed, self-involved. We need so many things to fix us. We always need to fix something. Something needs to change. You know, and yeah, we change as beings because nothing stays the same ever. But we don't need a lot of stuff to change ourselves. We don't. We don't. But if we could find a way to embrace whatever we are in the moment, because it will be different from moment to moment. There's no other power like that. That is somebody to be reckoned with. An Aquarius, boy, do you have that really activated within you. You really do. More than any of the other signs that I read for, I see this real transition into just like it is an awakening beyond anything else I've seen. And staying firmly in it. Letting go of the guilt, the shame. We're conditioned to really, really, temper the parts of ourselves that I really feel like we need the most. And sometimes that looks really brutal. Sometimes people might think, oh, that's a really difficult person. Or this person, they think so much of themselves, or whatever it is, unapproachable or whatever. And that's fine. When you have something so bright about you, people, not all people, some people will be very intimidated by that. That's okay. You stay your path. Not everybody is going to like you. Not everybody is going to understand you. Probably very few people will. That's just the reality of things. But that's okay. You don't need to be liked by everybody. You don't need to be understood by anybody. Although it does feel nice. But you will find your people if you have not already. I feel that as well. And now we have here, it looks like a person who is, let's see. Yes, a person who is kind of has their hand up. They're kind of walking, right? Walking along. And I feel like there is a huge emotional transit happening. And it's up and down. It really is. And that's okay. I feel that you're very in tune with your emotions. Things are flowing. And this is not always easy. But you are going to continue to become more and more fortified in this path, right? Less and less afraid of really being fully in yourself and in those emotions as they come up and as they leave, right? Because our emotions, I say our emotions, they're not really ours, are they? They are things that are pretty transient. Okay, and they come and they go, and we let them go. Because when we hold on to them, they begin to rule us, as anything does, right? And I think you're getting really good at working through some of these things that come up. You know, letting things take their natural course. Okay, and I want to look at this one right here. We have a person who is kind of holding on to this other, it looks like 3 people. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and I feel like it's almost like different parts of self. Just kind of, I want to say, no, they're not fighting, but they kind of do look like they are in a tangle with one another, don't they? Okay, so I had a little bit of a technical difficulty there, but okay, so I would say, I want to say not in a tangle with yourself, but it almost feels like there is some element of, you know, trying to sort things out, and I feel like there is some turmoil. Okay, I see this one pulling on this person this way and this person pulling on this person. And I really think it is just a matter of getting things kind of reoriented for yourself as you are figuring out, where are you going? What are you doing next? Right? And that can feel like, almost like, you know, siblings fighting, where there's rough housing happening. There's maybe some bickering. Ultimately, there's a lot of love there beneath it all, right? But in the moment, it can feel so intense. It can. But again, this is another place where we let go of, we don't hang on to that stuff. At least we try not to. We separate, you know, like Mom used to say, go to different rooms, or, you know, just ignore each other for a while until it comes out. And I'm not telling you to ignore yourself, but I think that at times healthy distractions are okay, right? When we get too far into that turmoil, which, listen, I know that I do. My worst part of my worst time for this is in the middle of the night. Sometimes I wake up and it's like there's such a clarity of anxiety. It's not a clarity of, you know, of happiness all the time. It's a clarity of the things I should be anxious about. Am I making the right decisions? What am I doing with this? What am I doing with that? I didn't even think of this one, you know, this one detail, and it starts to spin in your head, and you know, it's the middle of the night, so what can you really do about it? You know, you can make plans, and you can stew and you know, ruminate on these things, but that anxiety can overtake you. So you have to try to find a way to let it go. You know, breathe it out, breathe it out, breathe it out. Let it, you know, run its course, do its thing, but don't hold on to it. Okay? Let those thoughts just kind of pass right through. Okay? And I know it's easy for me to say that, and I know in practice a lot more difficult. Okay, but this is not unlike the emotions. You know, our thoughts are not always our own. As funny as that sounds, but it's true. A lot of times we are carrying around just kind of, if you could think, you know, like pocket full of just stuff we picked up off the floor, right? It's just random junk we're trying to figure out. And some of it needs to go in the garbage, right? Or at least we need to release it. So, let's see. We'll take a look down here. We have, immediately I see a little face, and then I see an eye right here. Okay, so turn this a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to tell you that I really feel like there's a sense of seeing something that I'm trying to think what it is exactly. It's like you've seen something that has really caught your eye. There is something that you have seen in passing somehow. But it's something that has piqued your interest. And I think that you've kind of even just like filed it away. And I feel like there's an interest in like, maybe this will be my next project. Maybe this will be my next hobby. And I think that this is something that could be like a healthy distraction for you. Maybe you've been back and forth about, should I put my time and energy into this? And I think that, yes, it is definitely something that is worth exploring. Okay, I think that this is could be a doorway for you into something that could be quite pleasurable, very kind of immersive. Okay, and so I think that it's the perfect time. It makes sense. And I'm interested, if you know what I'm talking about, if this resonates with you, I'd like to know, what is it that you're interested in beginning? What are you researching, studying? What is this thing that your new hobby, your new passion? Okay, and now we have the Dreamers deck. This is 40 affirmations for pursuing your dreams from the I Know collection. And I want to just pick this up, and I'm going to stop where it feels right. And it says, I know that I am the only person who can bring forth the creativity that lives in my body. I am magic. Okay. I like that. That makes me think of like dance. I mean, obviously she looks like she's maybe dancing, or they are maybe dancing. And so beautiful. Definitely something I think you already know. I think you know this. I think that you are probably fairly in tune with your body and intentional movement. And, and the big thing too is the movement of energies, okay, through, whatever system, yogic, tantric, so many others. These are all important things to think about. As much as I would love to at times abandon the physical plane, it is important, and we must balance it all together with our higher pursuits. Okay, so Aquarius, I'm going to go ahead and say thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it really helps the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. And if you haven't, excuse me, if you want to leave a comment, please do. I read all of them. They mean a lot to me. They really do. I love getting to know you all so much. And with that, before I have a cough attack, I want to say thank you again. I love you, and we will talk. Excuse me. We will talk very soon. I need to get something to drink here. Whew. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.